What is up, guys? I'm no longer pregnant. 4 weeks postpartum. That is insane. So obviously, as you guys saw, I gave birth. If you didn't see, go watch that video. I'll link it at the end. So if you didn't see, you can be sure to click it and check it out because it was intense. It was awesome. It was a great experience. It was beautiful. My little guy's over there. He's sleeping. He's kind of stirring around, so he may wake up. If he wakes up, I'll grab him and hold him. We'll have to use the potty first, though. So I'll do another video. Obviously, I have a lot of videos coming up because the day I went into labor, I was actually about to film. I filmed parts of the nursery tour, so that's coming. Just obviously, we had other obligations. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about my breastfeeding journey and update on it and how it is going. Obviously, if you saw my first video, I had big plans for this journey, and I do still have big plans, and we are getting things taken care of. There is just a little bump in the road, which I'm obviously gonna explain to you and get down to it. So far, postpartum is going great. I'm feeling great. There was a little incident, which I will tell in a birth story. So I want to do a birth story video. Hopefully I can get Tim in here with me, talk from his perspective and then my perspective and just kind of go through what happened. Obviously you saw everything, but just our perspectives in the moment. Obviously this channel is about my journey from pregnancy and then into motherhood and through motherhood. So if you're into that, we do things a little more natural around here. But if you are into that, you want to know more about it, or you just are interested, nosy, and want to follow along with my journey, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna steal. I've been obsessed with this Matt Walsh guy, and he goes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do it now. Do it now. Thank you for your compliance. So I'm saying the same thing to you. Subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you. Thank you for your compliance. So I'm stealing that. So anyways, let's just get right into it. So when he was born, he latched pretty instantly, effortlessly. He latched right away. He started sucking. Everything is good as gold. That continued on. 2 weeks, we weren't having any problems. He was feeding a lot, literally every hour he was on my boob at some point of time. I'd get about 30 minutes, maybe 45 if we're lucky, in between having him on the boob. I just thought, you know, maybe he was cluster feeding, so no big deal. So I didn't think anything of it until we go to his first doctor's appointment. We had to have that 2 weeks after, just because I personally had a little complications, which I'll get into in the birth story to come. So I knew that baby's lost weight after birth, so no surprise there. He did lose the max amount, so he was 813 and he got down to 714. 3 days postpartum, my midwife came and checked on me, checked on baby, and weighed him, and he had lost a good amount of weight. No surprise there. Fast forward, we go to the appointment. He had gained weight. He was 8'4", but he should be back to birth weight by now. She noticed when he cried he had a posterior tongue tie, and she suggested that I go to this feeding clinic. The chiropractor there is really great and very knowledgeable about tongue ties. Been doing this for years. When you go to the feeding clinic, you'll see her. You'll see a bodywork person who will work your baby's body out, you know, if there's any tightness, which there was, because he was born with his hand by his face. Not very nice, but you know, we got him out. So anyways, there's a chiropractor there, a bodywork person there, and then a lactation. So she suggested that I go to this feeding clinic, and I look into it. I schedule it right away, right after the doctor's appointment, because, you know, I don't want him to have a feeding issue. And she did mention, you know, if this continues and maybe he's not getting enough milk, he's not going to gain weight, and if he's not pulling enough out of my boob, then that could lead problems with supply issues down the line, and I already was nervous about supply issues. So I was like, cannot have that. I'm trying to breastfeed to age 2, so we're not close to that yet. So she wanted me to go there. I scheduled it immediately, and It was 2 weeks after that because they only do it on Wednesdays, and then upcoming one they had taken off because one of the people there had something going on. A week after his appointment where he was 8'4", we did a weight check the next week to make sure he was gaining weight. So we go to that weight check, he did gain weight. He got back to birth weight, so he went from 8'4" back to 8'13". So that was good. I was like, you know, maybe I don't need to go to this feeding clinic. You know, we were thinking about it because it is a lot of money. It's like $110 each time, so which is well worth it because you see 3 professionals. You're there for an hour and a half. Every freaking day this car alarm goes off, and I don't understand what the heck that's about. Anyway, anyways, so I thought about canceling the feeding clinic, but I was like, no, let's go just to make sure his latch and everything is right, because when you schedule you pay. So I'd already paid for it. So I go, and actually funny thing is when I went to the feeding clinic, it was a lactation girl that I saw the day he was born. So I was actually really happy to see it was her there because we had already made a connection. We had already talked. She already knew. That was awesome. That was kind of like a God thing. First thing, the bodywork person comes up and she starts, you know, maneuvering him around, and he's really tight in his left arm, and she's like, tell me about birth. She said he's really tight because he had that arm stuck up. Lactation came and they weigh him. They weigh your baby before you start to feed to see how much they transfer after they feed. So she takes him, she goes to weigh him. He is 813.4, and so that had been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 days, and he gained 0.4 of an ounce. So immediately I knew that was bad. He should definitely be gaining more weight than 0.4 of an ounce. So then I feed him to see how much he's transferring. Well, that wasn't great either. So she goes and weighs him, and he transferred 0.1 of an ounce. So that's horrible. An ounce is 30 mils, 0.1 of an ounce. Gosh, I don't even know what that would be. It's just not good. He wasn't transferring well. So they did notice that he had ties. The chiropractor assessed him, and he has a lip tie, which goes pretty much down to his gum. The posterior tongue tie that the doctor noticed, and then he has buccal ties, which are cheek ties, which is like, you know, a frenulum that attaches from your gum to your cheek. So his mouth is super tight and super constricted. When the doctor told us about the feeding clinic, she said the ties don't always need revised. Sometimes you can just do the chiropractic work and the body work, everything will be fine. She said the chiropractor will know whether they need to be revised or they can just do the physical therapy aspect of it. And she said that they are tight, it really needs to be revised because here's the nipple. So since he has that posterior tongue tie, he has a high palate and his tongue can't even reach the top of his palate. So here's the nipple. So when he's feeding, his tongue's just like flailing. It's like trying, but it's like trying to push the nipple out because that's all he can do because he can't, it's supposed to like go up and pull the milk in like this, but he can't, so it's just like flicking. So that's great. He's obviously like not capable to get the milk out efficiently. After that, I cried. I thought, okay, we'll figure it out. We're gonna get him revised, get it taken care of. Obviously, anything we need to do, we're gonna do. This came a little harder to me when the lactation girl, she came to talk to me, and we figured out a plan because he obviously needs and has to gain weight. He has to get stronger. Look at him, he's just the cutest little guy. She knew that I had a friend who recently had a baby about a month and a half before me, who was an overproducer, and she had already offered, you know, if I was having any issues to donate her milk. Praise the Lord for her. I thank God for her every day. That is a lifesaver, and I can already tell he's gaining weight. She said you're already taking cash cow, which is great. That's supposed to help stimulate and produce milk. She also wanted me to start taking this Liquid Gold by the same company, Legendary Milk. So they actually sent me a tattoo and I put it on today because, you know, can't have too many tattoos. So anyways, this Liquid Gold, and this is supposed to help obviously produce more milk, but grow your breast tissue so you're able to even produce even more, since they think I have decent breast tissue, but they think I could use some more. So I'm taking both of those, and then she said supplement him 2 ounces with your friend's breast milk after every feeding, and I lost it. I started bawling because it didn't fit my plan. Obviously, I just wanted to exclusively nurse. I know exclusively breastfeeding is pumping, it's giving a bottle of breast milk, and it's nursing. Well, I wanted to exclusively nurse. I didn't want him to have a bottle, and so this crushed me. I don't want to shadow over how grateful I am for that breast milk. I am, but you know, I'm in postpartum and it crushed me. My postpartum's going really great. I think the encapsulated placenta is, I haven't had any sadness or depression or anything these 4 weeks, other than the fact of the 2 days that I wept about him having to have a bottle. But I'm over that now. So I cried, but I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. Immediately when I left there, I contacted my friend to get that set up, and she's like, yep, I got some for you, I got your back. Perfect. So I was gonna take those vitamins, I was gonna supplement breast milk after every feeding, and then I was going to pump after every feeding. I haven't pumped anything because he's always on the boob and I didn't want to take from it, and so I was like, well, I guess I don't need a pump because he's always getting it. So I'm starting to pump and build stockpile while I'm using her breast milk. That is what is happening now. From starting pumping, I was getting, you know, anywhere from 1 to 2 ounces. Since I've been supplementing, I think he's getting stronger and he's able to pull out more. So sometimes I'll get 20 mils, which an ounce is 30. So, you know, 10 less. But I'm happy for that. We'll know when I go back to clinic. So anyways, I've started pumping. I'm getting in the groove of a schedule with him because literally I didn't know, you know, I've fed constantly, so we didn't have really much of a schedule or anything. So now he's actually going to 2.5 hours between feedings, so I'm able to get more done, so that's cool. I know in my previous video about all the stuff about breastfeeding, I haven't used any of it. So my nipples don't really get sore, so I don't necessarily need the nipple cream. I haven't used the hand pump because 2 weeks after birth, another friend was so freaking awesome to give me an electric pump. Wow, amazing, because this is a lifesaver, and if I didn't have this, I'd just be up shit creek, really, is what I told her. And that's just the honest truth. So that is the regimen I've been put on. It is working. I'll do more of these videos just kind of to follow up, let you know how it's going. I have tried to call the dentist because a pediatric dentist is the one who clips the ties. So I'm in the process of getting that consultation scheduled and getting that revised, and so fingers crossed and pray for me that clipping those ties, he'll be able to really get all the milk he needs from me, and then I'll just pump occasionally to build the stockpile, and we won't have to do much bottles. What did console me, Tim, luckily he let me cry it out for a little bit, but then he told me, you know, it's gonna be okay, and you know, it's okay, you should cry about this. But I do want to let you know, I do enjoy feeding him. It's like a bonding thing. He loves feeding him, so he feels more included. That was consolation to me. I was like, okay, great, that makes me happy. We're moving along past this hang up. We're feeding my baby. My baby's gaining weight, and we're on better pastures. I'll keep you posted and let you know as I know. Thanks for tuning in and following along with this journey. If you have any similar experiences, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment box. I'd be happy to talk about it there. Again, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Also, if you haven't seen it, watch the birth because it's pretty incredible.